Hello everyone, welcome to the Smashi Sports Show. Today is Thursday, 26th of June 2025. We're doing the show today because of the public holiday tomorrow. I'm Parth.
And I'm Abdul Majidawan. Hello, everyone. Hello. How are you, Parth?
I'm good, how are you?
Are you happy about the holiday?
Yeah, I am.
3 days together. Bro, I love long weekends. I just love long weekends. I can do whatever I want in those long weekends. And what do you usually do? Like, if you get a long weekend, what's your first thing?
I wake up at 1 o'clock.
Good. You sleep, basically. That's my
No,
favorite thing.
I don't always sleep. What I do is I just talk to my friends. I just play some video games if possible. I try to go out if
Yeah.
possible, but like there's a rush. There's no point in going out.
Yeah, you're wasting 1 hour, 2 hour in the traffic. But yeah, it's a long weekend, but the action will not stop. It's a long weekend, so you have a lot of time to watch a lot of football that's happening right now. And we will start with the biggest tournament that's happening right now, the Club World Cup. And we'll preview all the matches, we'll review everything that's going on, and then we'll move up to Ronaldo. Apparently, he's getting unprecedented control at Al-Nassr. And lastly, we're going to talk about Saudi Arabia. They're going very strong in the Club World Cup. They've qualified for the quarterfinals and they play Mexico on Sunday. So we'll talk about that, how their performance was and everything. But starting with the Club World Cup, let's look at the tables. Very interesting tables. A lot of teams have qualified. So we'll tell you table by
Actually,
table,
every team,
group by group.
every group but one,
Yeah.
there have been two teams that have qualified
Yeah.
apart from one. Starting with Group A, we have Palmeiras and Inter Miami who have qualified.
Yeah.
Inter Miami, well, they were winning 2-0 and then they let it slip, 2-2
Yeah.
draw, which means they finished second and they will be playing PSG
Yeah.
in the
I think
round
they
of
did it on
16.
purpose.
I don't
Just
think.
to make the knockout matches interesting.
No, because I mean, if you saw Messi after the match, he looked a bit frustrated. I don't think.
Because he wasn't involved, but everyone else was. You can't buy Messi, but you can buy the 10 players around him.
You need to feel for him, man. He went to Miami just to relax.
Yeah.
And then they put them in the Club World Cup without the qualification, and now he's facing European champions.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think he just, it wasn't a money move. He just wanted to play football. And I think at that age,
I think you
with
just
that
want to
energy,
just relax,
Yeah.
just see a few years out, and
enjoy the football.
enjoy the
Not
football
be
With-
competitive all the time.
without the pressure of
Yeah.
oh, will he win Champions League this season? No, he's won it all, man.
Yeah, he's won literally everything. So now he doesn't need to. He's won the World Cup. So
Exactly.
yeah, Ronaldo doesn't have that, but he has a Euro and a Nations League title now. Both of them equal to a World Cup. So, but
I will not comment on that.
but moving on, Group B is also decided. PSG, obviously, Botafogo, and Atletico Madrid is out. They chose a Spanish team, They chose Atletico over
The
Barcelona.
team that replaced Barca is out before the round
They
of 16.
They took out Parth's heart when they didn't take Barcelona.
No,
and
I'm happy that Barca is not playing.
Yeah.
Barca players get some rest. We can focus on transfers, and I mean the money is big, but like it's fine.
Yeah. But funny thing is, no one was expecting Botafogo. I think this is one of the biggest dark horses, underdog story in this Club World Cup.
I've noticed when it comes to dark horses, if you predict a dark horse, they don't go through.
Yeah.
Like Turkey in the Euros and stuff, like they don't go through. Like they really fumble, not even fumble. They just don't win.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, these are dark horses, but if it's always like the unexpected ones, like Ajax.
Yeah.
And then you have.
No, the funny thing is, Botafogo, I was looking at the Serie A table, they ended 8th in Serie A. And even then, they're through to the Club World Cup and they've taken over Atletico Madrid. It's
Yeah.
unthinkable. Like, it's a team that I don't even know the full name of. Usually, I know the names of them. It's Botafogo de Futebol e Regatas. But for a lot of other teams, you know the full names because it's just like a very nice thing
Like
to
the
say when you're a
European
sports
teams
fan.
and stuff, like you know the general
So
one, but yeah.
Botafogo has done it. They've gone with PSG to the next round. Actually, both of them have the same points, them and Atletico. They just went forward because of a good goal difference. They have a +1 goal difference, and Atletico had a -1 goal difference. So yeah, good for them. They've gone through. Then
Group C sees Benfica and Bayern progressing.
Yeah.
Boca Juniors out before the round of 16, and I mean another expected one, but I would I would not be mad at people. I would not be surprised if people say that Boca Juniors should
Yeah, it's big. to be honest, as a brand, Boca Juniors is a big
club,
brand.
Massive club.
Yeah. And then Group D, Flamengo, Chelsea are the ones who are moving forward. ES Tunis, the very first team, the Arab team that we're talking about throughout the groups, they're out. Sadly for them, they only won one match, lost two, -4 goal difference. They had 3 points. Chelsea, funny again. Chelsea, Premier League superpower, came second. Flamengo,
1 billion.
yeah, Flamengo came out with 7 points, and Chelsea came out with 6 points. So thankfully they went forward. We have a big team coming forward, but again, I don't know what's happening to the big teams. I think they're not playing their best 11s, or they're just complacent. They're like, yeah, we got the money. We don't want to win.
Fair, honestly.
Yeah, this participation is like money in this tournament.
Because the emphasis put on this tournament is that it's a big tournament. This and that. I think it's European teams, and I think not just European. A lot of teams are just tired. Like
Yeah. The season just ended, and there's been thrown into this.
Yeah.
And then there's so much coming up. The season will
like
start again.
the players should be on vacation right now. Is what I feel.
Yeah.
I still feel that this tournament should not have taken place as early as it has. Maybe after the 2026 World Cup,
Yeah.
or like maybe like
Never?
after a few years.
Never. See, whenever a new tournament or like a reformed or redesigned tournament with more teams come up, it's always bad for footballers. They always start complaining. The clubs that they play for, their managers they start complaining. The national team managers they start complaining.
We saw this with the Nations League when it first came up, and then they just increased the games, and now you have this
So much
competition.
football
It's once in a 4 years, but
again, why
If
would you
if
need
it's
it?
not broken, why are you fixing
Yeah.
it? The previous format was still fine.
Yeah, I think
Like
it was best.
Exactly.
It
Like
was a short format. They
Winners of Champions League,
yeah,
it's
and
simple.
just let them play. But no, they had to make a tournament out of it. But again, we are happy that we have 5 Arab teams finally representing on an intercontinental tournament, and only one of them has a chance. We'll talk about it. So Group E.
Borussia and Dortmund and Fluminense. That's Group F. My
Yeah.
bad. Group E, Inter qualify, and Monterrey qualify.
Yeah, River Plate and Urawa Reds, they're out. Group F, Dortmund and Fluminense have
Ramos
qualified.
in the round of 16. Ramos in the round of 16.
Yeah, good to know that. I just think Ramos has calmed down. He's not the same anymore, right? The Sergio Ramos of Real Madrid, I'll never forget him. That was the best version of Ramos I've ever seen. Now he's calmed down. He's become a very cool and calm uncle type of player. Oh no, it's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
we haven't. I mean, to be fair to him, like it's not like we haven't heard of him because
Yeah.
he's still scoring headers out there.
Yeah.
So like it's good for him. But when it comes to third place, River Plate will be joining their rivals Boca Juniors, not in the round of 16, but
Yeah.
out of the tournament.
Yeah.
In the flight back to Argentina. So
Okay, so Group F.
Group F,
Dortmund, Fluminense, yeah, done. Group G,
Oh,
2 Arab teams.
out.
Yeah, so Juventus and Man City are in 6 points. They both lost. Drew.
Goal difference.
Oh, they'll play. They'll play. So this is one of the groups which has still not finalized, but on paper it has finalized. They haven't played all of their matches. So Juventus, Man City play 1-1 match each. Wydad and Al both have lost both of their matches, so there's 0 chance that they'll qualify because they have 0 points. And Juventus and City have 6 points. So mathematically impossible. But yeah, still they have 1 round of matches left. And the last group, Group H, has also 1 match each team left, and
That's
that is
interesting.
the hopeful place.
Interesting one.
That is where we are all
Please,
looking.
Salzburg and Hilal. Salzburg and Hilal.
Yeah, so it's a very tricky situation. We'll try to explain it to you. First of all, Real Madrid and RB Salzburg, they're playing the match. Both of the matches start at the same time, but when they play, they're both at 4 points each. If they play a draw, they'll be at 5 points each.
And both of them go through.
And both of them will go through. However, Al Hilal has a chance. They have to win. That's the given. If they lose, if they draw, they're out.
They're out, but they have
If
to
they win, they will come on 5 points as well. Now the complication comes at goal difference. So right now, RB Salzburg has a goal difference of 4 points. 4 points means that, 1 plus 1. So if they play out a draw somehow, Real Madrid and RB Salzburg, Al Hilal will have to beat Pachuca by 2 goals. So if Pachuca scores 1, they'll have to score 3. If Pachuca scores 2, they have to score 4.
Basically, they need a goal difference of 2.
2.
They
So
need to win. They need to win the game by 2 goals. It can be 2-0. It can be 4-2. It can be 6-2.
Anything.
Anything.
So both the matches start at the same exact time, Saturday night, Sunday morning,
5 a.m.
5 a.m. So you can watch it, but sacrificing your sleep. I will watch the highlights and be like, okay, this happened. But yeah, that's the match. That's the only hope from the Arab region in the Club World Cup left. All the other teams are out. But what was your favorite match?
My favorite match, I think,
For the Arab teams, best match that you saw, like
from the Arab teams, it's the Al Ahly one
the 4-4
versus Porto.
Yeah.
Thrilling.
It was,
Thrilling match.
And they were winning at 4-3 at some point, but then again, last minute, 4-4 happened.
This season, I mean, I've preferred like more end-to-end games than the high scoring ones, you know, because given the season Barca has played, I've been used to seeing 5-4 and 4-4 and 7-6, and that Al Ahly game.
Everyone is playing a high line at the back, right? After City and Guardiola have started doing it, Liverpool did it for a long time. I think even now they're playing a very high line. Everyone thinks that's the best way to go.
And then there is
and then you get
whose defenders are just like not even in their own half, just in the other half.
Yeah. Everyone is playing in the other half.
Highest line.
Yeah. But Al Hilal, that's the only chance. We are hopeful. We are praying for them. I hope when we come back on Monday for the show, they have qualified. And I think by miracle or by prayers or by something, they go. Hopeful. Al Hilal fans, Al Hilal, best of luck to you. For me, I think the best match was the start, Al Hilal. Drawing against Real Madrid. Like you don't draw against Real Madrid.
I mean, at that point it was like the best game of the
right?
exactly.
You don't draw against Real Madrid. A team like Real Madrid, you don't draw against them.
Yeah.
They pulled off a miracle. I think Al Ahly and
I think it's not just the scoreline, but the fact that Al Hilal actually were dominant for a good part of the game, which made it much more better. It's not just they escaped with it. You know, they did dominate, and a part of football is also saving penalties. You can't just say that they had a goal disallowed. Nothing. No, it was a very good save by Bonner. So
overall, like Al Hilal have played good right now by the Arab teams' standard that we've seen. I think the standout teams from this tournament would be Al Hilal and Al Ahly. So one Egyptian team, one Saudi team. The other ones, they participated. We don't want to talk about what happened to Al Ain. Very big losses for them. But again,
but
to be honest,
they are playing each other. So let's see if one of them could get a win. But
it's like you play with your friends and they're like, you're the best bowler in the world, you're the best striker in the world, you're the best golfer in the world, and you think that's the world and you're the best at it. But when you go out and you play against the neighboring team and you're like, oh no, he's the worst possible bowler in this whole tournament. So I think it's a very important tournament for Al Ain, for Wydad, for ES Tunis, that however they came into the tournament, they should go out and realize like this is the
level is just completely different.
And even to be honest, it's not that level that they're playing at. They're not playing against the best 11s of the world class clubs.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine if Bayern played their best 11, they scored 10 against Auckland. Imagine if they played their best 11. Everyone would be making world records, right? They just have to realize that this is the standard at least where we should reach, that against their like half best 11 we should play a draw, follow Al Hilal or go all out like Al Ahly. Score gets scored against.
Yeah, like make it end to end. Like, you know, you lose 4-3, but you lost 4-3 and not 5-0.
Yeah.
But what they can take away from this game is that, you know, not just from this game, from this tournament, is that there's a completely different level that they probably need to get used to if they want to compete in the next 4 years again.
Best thing is just take lessons. Don't rely on your defeat like, oh my God, we lost. Take some confidence from it that at least you competed. You were there. Whatever you got scored against, that's not the issue. The issue is how you got scored. Learn from it. Be better. Learn every day. Moving on from that whole summary of Club World Cup, let's move on to, I think we were going to discuss Ronaldo, but let's keep it for later and let's start with Gold Cup because since we're in the football mode. So Saudi Arabia have qualified for the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup, and they're playing Mexico on Sunday again, early morning, 6:15 I think was the time. So yeah, you guys have a lot of Arab teams, Arab national teams playing football. So Saudi Arabia had a mixed tournament right now in Gold Cup. They lost one, they won one, they drew one. So somehow they pushed themselves. So they lost to the USA, which is the top team in Group D. They drew against Trinidad and Tobago, and they beat Haiti. Not Haiti. I think I'm hungry. But Haiti, they beat. So they were second in their Group D, and they've qualified. And they're playing Mexico, which topped Group A.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
They play in the Gold Cup, it's Saudi versus Mexico, and the Club World Cup, it's also Saudi versus Mexico.
Yeah, but
Let's see
yeah,
who comes out.
other teams that have qualified are USA, Saudi, Panama, and Guatemala. Group C is so interesting. There's no big country in it. There's Panama, there's Guatemala, there's Jamaica. Jamaica still, I think, is a good enough country, but they didn't qualify, funnily.
Yeah.
But Guadeloupe, so 4 countries in this group, none of them have we don't know. At least I don't know any of the
It's not like a
footballing
footballing country.
miracles or histories from them. But at least they're in the competition. Funnily, Panama won all of their matches. So
They are a
yeah.
good team, dude. They actually are a good team from South America.
So there's only two
Like
countries.
they can give you a run for their money,
Yeah.
genuinely.
Only 2 countries who've actually scored perfect nines, and that's USA and Panama. Otherwise, Group B, Canada has 7 points. They drew 1 match, and Mexico 7 points. So good. Let's see. Hopefully, Saudi Arabia win. Al Hilal go forward. It's all Saudi Arabia happening right now. They've turned into a football powerhouse. So I think we will see more of them in more places.
It's a very good project that they have going.
Yeah, and I think by 2030, the Saudi Vision 2030 is to bring a lot of sports and investment and everything. But 2034 World Cup, I think the way they're going, they will have a competitive team, because we saw some spark in the last World Cup, the Qatar World Cup. The US World Cup is coming, and then they host the 2034 World Cup. I think they will build it. There will be a lot of hurdles in that. You will see some players retiring who actually carry the team.
Oh, yeah.
Dosri, I don't think he's going to play 9 more years. Salim
One last dance. Just retire now, like put him
retire,
in like a freeze, like a cryo chamber, and then bring him out.
And come back in 2034. I am back. But yeah, can happen, may happen. No one knows. But yeah, at least they need to build up like 4 or 5 heroes in the national team, and Saudi Pro League is the best way to do it. I think the whole Spanish team is nearly Barcelona, so yeah, you have to understand that leagues play a very big role in making the national teams, and Saudi Pro League is getting stronger every day.
I mean, they did mention that by next World Cup they need 19% of homegrown players at least.
Yeah.
So I mean that's actually a very good ambition.
It's possible.
It builds a base for the World Cup that's going to be in 2034.
Yeah, and moving from that Saudi angle to a new Saudi angle, I think the news is very simple. Ronaldo has been given unprecedented, like uncontrolled control over everything. Al-Nassr,
control.
Complete dominance over everything. That's how it was described. But yeah, so he is going to take all the decisions in the upcoming transfer window. Basically, it was reported by Foot Mercato
by
that
Santi Auna.
Ronaldo has received necessary guarantees from the Public Investment Fund. So Al-Nassr is one of the clubs that comes under PIF. And we recently talked about it in the last episode that PIF is selling 3 of the clubs, which it owns in the Saudi Pro League, and it's going to keep just 1. So let's see, maybe it's Al-Nassr.
I mean, I think
maybe
it has to be Al-Nassr.
Yeah,
no?
we don't know. We're just giving
Because
out a hint.
Ronaldo is also signing a new contract, a 2-year deal reportedly.
Yeah.
So.
And funnily, last time when he extended the contract, he reportedly, he hasn't said it. Saudi Pro League didn't say it. PIF didn't say it. No one confirmed it. But everyone reported that he got 5% of Al-Nassr's stake.
Yeah.
So now he's literally invested into the club. It's not like footballing wise invested.
Yeah, it's like actual, like proper
literally, investment. So I think if he's given control, he has a footballing brain. Giving him control over transfers, good, because he can build a team around him, not for long, but at least he knows that which position, what, because he's played with one of the best teams or one of like some of the best players in every position.
Yeah.
You talk about Manchester United, he has
Madrid.
played with the best CDM, I think, in the English Premier League. The most angry, the most ruthless CDM, Paul Scholes.
Yeah.
He's played with the best CBs, Ferdinand, and the other one, the Serbian guy. What was his name, bro? Ferdinand and other guy. I remember his face, I forgot his name. But yeah, he's played with a player of highest world quality in every
Vidic.
position. Nemanja Vidic.
I
Nemanja
was
Vidic.
just waiting. I'm like, let me like hold it in so like if this guy remembers.
Nah, I would have remembered like in the next 5
He
minutes.
would text me tomorrow like, bro, that's the name of the guy.
That was Nemanja Vidic. Yeah, but he's played with some of the greatest in every position. Marcelo, talk about any. He's played, I think, with the best.
If you talk about central midfielders, he has a book of
Yeah.
players. That are just world class that he's played with.
Yeah. So I think he is the best person to look at a guy and judge like, oh, he looks like someone I know has the potential to at least be that one.
It's being reported that he's trying to look for a new central. I mean, not just him, but Al-Nassr are looking for a new central defender and a left winger. There have been not strong links, but there has been a report saying that it's one of the transfer targets is Alejandro Garnacho from Man United.
Oh.
So because he has a bit of a fuss with the club, him and the club are not at the same standpoint. I think a potential move for him to Saudi could be on the cards. But again, he's young. I don't think it would make sense for him to leave the Premier League and actually leave Europe and go to Saudi. But
You never know.
because he's not the first player who will be doing that. There have been a lot of young players doing that. So Garnacho, who is also a massive Ronaldo fan, if that had to be mentioned, I think it could be on the cards for him. And if Ronaldo calls him and says, "Bro, I want you here," then
Tell me the amount. I have the checkbook. Tell me the amount. I'm just signing it. Just tell me the amount. Or I have an amount. Tell me if I need to add a zero in it.
PIF is right next to me. Just tell what about.
Yeah, just say yes, and I have 3 yeses, and my yes is the last one. But yeah, a lot of players will want to play with him, not just for like to learn from him now, to be actually closer to him and see how he thinks.
Yeah,
and,
just like,
and maybe play under him as a manager someday, or as an owner of the club, or anything, whatever role he gets in Al-Nassr eventually, once he retires, which he will eventually. No one will say no to him.
Will he retire?
Yeah, maybe he'll start an old people
We
league,
said,
like
we said
50-year-old.
We said the
league.
same thing 10 years ago. When he's 40, he's going to be like a manager or something. He's 40, he's on track to scoring 1,000 goals.
And the highest scorer in Saudi Pro League. Imagine. Like
Highest scorer ever. Like,
yeah.
we were like, 40, he'll retire. He'll probably be managing Real Madrid. And then here he is. He's 40. He's eyeing the next World Cup.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened, and with that, there's a little bit of attached news that we should talk about, and that is Al-Nassr was shocked by Pioli's departure, who is their coach. So Stefano Pioli has stepped down. It was a disappointing trophyless season, and I should add another disappointing season. Ronaldo, since he's been at the Saudi Pro League, they've tried to win the Saudi Pro League. They haven't been able to because Al-Hilal.
They fell short to Al-Hilal.
We don't know you guys. You're Ronaldo, okay, very good, but we're not giving you the trophy for free. But he's moving to Fiorentina as a new head coach, and he's left Al-Nassr. So a lot of things are happening around Saudi Pro League. And as I always say, and I will always say, the more the news comes out, the more mature the league gets, the more news comes out of it. The more you see it in transfer rumors, the more you see managers leaving, coming, this guy saying this. It shows, it's a sign of maturity that there is something happening in the league. It's not a dead league where no one cares what's happening. So that is why more news starts coming out of it.
It's very evident that there is a project that is being put in place, and I think they're already past building the base.
Yeah.
They are just constantly working on it.
Yeah, it's like when you started Burj Khalifa.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Right?
I was going to say
Whenever
that.
you talk about building something great, you always talk about Burj Khalifa.
Exactly.
It had so many hurdles, but now it's been standing there for, I don't know, 8-10 years. And it's become one of the modern marvels of the world. But at the time they started digging the ground, they were like, Oh, how deep can you dig in a desert? Literally every step of the way, there were like million people who questioned literally everything. But then when it actually stood up and they opened, and now everyone
And now
wants to go to
everyone
the
goes,
top floor.
I want Burj Khalifa view, you know. I want to eat in front of the Burj Khalifa. I want to sit in
Sleep
front
in front of the Burj Khalifa.
I want to only go in the Burj Khalifa's washrooms, you know,
Yeah.
like everything Burj Khalifa. I want a hotel with Burj Khalifa. Let's go
Yeah.
see Burj Khalifa.
And imagine there is like another thing that is being built, the Kingdom Tower, and as soon as that will, it will be like 1 kilometer tall. Burj Khalifa is 850 or 870 meters, so that will open. It's just giving you an idea through an analogy that every
It's a
great project,
It's
every,
a remarkable project
Yeah.
because there were so many doubts when this thing started in about 2022, 2023 that they're just buying players with money.
Yeah.
They're just trying to feed the greed of the players and
Yeah.
just bring them through money. No youngster will ever go. Now it's not just players that have been established going there.
Yeah.
We have seen youngsters also go there.
And I think I remember I talked to Aziz about it, that I've realized that younger players, like not young like 23, 24 young, the 16, 17-year-olds,
Exactly.
they think it's a good launch pad for them.
Exactly,
They can go
exactly.
play in world class facilities, because now Saudi Pro League, every club has a world class facility.
You have the facilities and the money. Yes, you do
Yeah.
have that. But the reason why I'm saying it's remarkable is because they have that exposure as well. It's
Yeah.
not like once they go there, you stop hearing about them. Like, oh, okay, he's there now. We saw it happening with China.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. I feel now they even have that exposure. If you move to Saudi at like 16, 17, 18, 19,
Yeah.
not saying 16, but like 17, 18,
Yeah.
19, then you also have that, okay, I can come back to Europe because I've played this. I'm not saying I'll come to Barcelona or Real Madrid, but like
Yeah.
there is for sure a European team that will take me on in the top 5 leagues.
Yeah. And like scouts are actually going to Saudi Pro
Yeah.
League now. So if you have, see, those are the leeches that you have to look out for. Because if a scout, a big scout, or like a group of scouts, they start going to a league, for sure there is something happening.
Exactly.
And scouts have started coming to Saudi Pro League matches. They're looking for talent, because they realize that there is a lot of Arab talent,
Yeah,
which they've ignored
the
over
best,
so many years.
The best thing
Yeah.
that could come out of this league is not the revenue, it's not the
Yeah.
international exposure, it's the fact that the homegrown players are getting that,
Yeah.
that sort of exposure that, okay, I play with these players.
Yeah.
You get a taste of the level that these experienced players have
Yeah.
played at. Like, okay, like imagine Al-Nassr's homegrown players
Yeah.
will see the likes of Ronaldo and Mane and etc. Like even John Duran, for that matter, from
Yeah.
Aston Villa. This is how they train over there. Like this is what the routine is set like. You get a bit of and obviously talking to those like pros and stuff gives you that sort a bit of leverage that, okay, like this is like if I do well here as a homegrown player,
I
I
have a
will
chance.
get that exposure and I will have the chance.
Maybe someday I'll
And
play for a
then
big club and win a big trophy.
Yeah,
Right? Why not?
and it's a far-fetched thing to say, but few years down the line, what's really good for this is the fact that the homegrown players won't just be like, okay, let me develop myself here, like I'll develop myself here, and then after that I will go to Europe.
Yeah.
Maybe they just want to stay in Saudi. Maybe
Yeah.
they just want to stay in Saudi, and even clubs from the neighboring countries, maybe players from UAE would want to play in Saudi.
Yeah.
That would also be easier for them. That would also be like, okay, this is still a much better step. So I'm not saying it will only be successful, but right now, if you are tracking the progress, it's on track to be very successful.
I think it's just like the Western media downplaying, like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
the coach left. Yeah, bro, you fire like 10 coaches in your country's league every year.
Exactly.
What's the problem? Coaches come, coaches leave. The project should be there. Like Saudi
Like,
Pro League should be there.
And I'm not going to mention which country's journalists, but
Every
like,
country's journalist. Trust me, all top 5 European leagues.
From the top 5 European leagues, a very, very prominent league.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the name, but it's the best league in the world.
Premier League. I'll say it. Yeah, you fire so many.
Journalists from that country are like, oh, they just fired a coach, means it failed.
No.
If you're talking like that, then like every Premier League team after Tottenham Hotspur failed then because they sacked their coach who won the Europa League.
No, but see, coaches, players, everything can change. I am not saying that
Yeah.
everyone said Ronaldo will retire at Real Madrid. He didn't. He went back to United, had a stint with Juventus.
Exactly.
Everyone said that there's only a few players in the world that I know that started with the club, ended with the club. Even Messi, like a Barca homegrown, everything, like from the academy till his career. He also chose Inter Miami eventually.
He didn't leave
Yeah,
Barcelona.
like
That's a
he was
different
old.
topic.
See, every player eventually
Yeah,
moves.
the same
maybe for
the
something,
same thing goes with coaches. You know,
Yeah.
like not everyone can be
That
Sir
doesn't mean
Alex
that-
Ferguson, and he also started with a different
Yeah.
club. He wasn't. He didn't become.
Everyone
a
knows
United
that
coach.
he was
Yeah.
born at United, coach United
He was
since birth.
he was
there.
in Scotland. He was in
So
Scotland.
all this is actually sports maturity, a league's maturity, that people are coming. Some people who believed in the vision stayed there for 2 years, left, no problem. Gerrard was there, left. He believed in the vision, but then he saw that he wasn't going anywhere forward, and the club
Yeah.
was like, yeah, good player, not a great coach. But actually, Gerrard, I just want to, like, we've never talked about Gerrard leaving. The only thing that I've realized, because I saw that documentary and then I followed him, he was one of my favorite players. He went to a club which was already winning. It was a winning club. Celtic was not a small club.
Yeah.
It's a big club which played a lot of good football. He just put up a system and they played and won something.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it worked there because he played with such a great club. Yeah, so you don't expect the same from every coach everywhere. Mourinho was great with some of the clubs. He won with the other clubs as well, but he wasn't as great.
He won with every club but
Yeah,
one.
even with United, like they say it's the worst time for Mourinho. Even with them, he won a
Because
trophy, right?
the funniest thing is United right now would take that level.
Yeah,
they were
they're
like,
so bad right
oh
now."
my god, we finished second. And he
Bro.
even he even told them that you should be happy with this and the players I have, because when I go, ask those players if they play, where they like, with who they play, and if they play. Like he asked all those questions.
Yeah.
So
Even with Arsenal, recently we did something on Smashi Business. So Piers Morgan was here. He was talking to the Emirates CEO, and Emirates is the sponsor for the stadium,
Yeah.
also I think.
Emirates
right?
Stadium, yes.
Emirates Stadium, and also the shirt sponsor and
Yes.
all that. And he was like, "Can you tell him what's the coach's name?"
Arsenal's coach?
Arsene Wenger, and
Arsene
then
Wenger, yeah.
the second one is right now is Arteta,
Arteta.
Mikel Arteta. So he's like, "Tell Arteta to hire a good striker and this and that. You guys pay money to them.
they still aren't hiring a
Yeah,
good striker.
and he was like, we are very happy with their progress. They're
Oh,
finishing
yeah.
second, third. Why would we be unhappy? We invested in an Arsenal, which was like a top 10 club. That's it. Otherwise, they didn't do anything great.
I wouldn't say top 10.
Like top 10 as in they always finish in the top 10, but
Yeah.
they were not as great as Arsenal.
There was a running joke that they only finished fourth, and then they finished eighth back to back,
Yeah.
and then they again went back into like finishing
So
second.
he's like, I'm happy with whatever they're doing. At least they're progressing. So why would I go to tell Arteta, oh, I'm leaving? He's like, we're very happy with the partnership. Very interestingly, he also said that Emirates sponsors like 2 other clubs. One was a Spanish club. I don't remember the name. So they also sponsor. They have like 3-4 clubs.
The Spanish club just happens to be Real Madrid.
Emirates? No.
I just forgot about it.
Oh, maybe it was an Italian club which I forgot. They have like 3-4. He took so many names.
Just forgot.
Oh yeah,
a
Real
random
Madrid.
club.
How can I forget?
A random club from Spain. I forgot the name.
No. But the best thing was Arsenal, that this is the idea, mainly that with whatever you're playing with or whatever level you're at, just be one step ahead, right? And that's the game with Saudi Pro League. They're trying to be one step ahead.
I don't understand. They're doing the exact same thing as a lot of other leagues. Why?
Yeah.
Why are they getting hate for it? I mean, I know why.
I just hope sooner or later one of their clubs goes to the Champions League somehow. Something happens and they go to the Champions League.
No. Why? No. Why?
They can't. They can or they can't.
Why would they go in the Champions League?
Because Champions League is for all the leagues in the world. Huh? Not even. How many teams play a Champions League?
Champions League, the UEFA Champions
Yeah,
League,
UEFA
the
Champions- it's
UEFA
for-
Champions
yeah.
League, the European Football
I'll give you an
League,
example.
the European footballing
I'll
body.
give you an example, and that's a very nice segue into why they can. The European basketball thing, the Euro something event, we have our Dubai Basketball Club playing there next year.
Yeah, but that's
They made an exception.
They made an exception, but that's a complete.
I think UEFA can. That's
No,
my suggestion.
I did see reports that UEFA was trying to get an
they
American,
should, right?
American
They should
or a
go
Saudi.
grow out of Europe.
No, they shouldn't.
They should grow out
You
of
realize
Europe.
we were just talking about the Club World Cup and how you should not change something which is not broken.
I think Champions League is broken. I
It's
don't
not-
watch it anymore. I think a lot of people they just watch the final matches. They don't look at the group matches.
Yeah,
So
but
just
then-
to add a flavor.
yeah, but that's every
bring one Asian team, one Middle Eastern team. Just add flavor to it.
No,
Right?
That is the Club World Cup. You're contradicting your own point.
But
That's the
still,
Club
yeah.
World Cup.
I just think like
And-
someday
and no,
in
the-
a very distant future, a very futuristic approach, not Champions League, but
A better,
maybe
a-
it becomes
a better Club World Cup.
yeah, better Club World
If-
Cup.
and,
yeah. But
you
I
know-
would want them to win something someday. Like that should be not only the World Cup. Saudi shouldn't look at the World Cup only.
Yeah.
But a Saudi club winning some big intercontinental something. And Club World Cup can be their thing, but it's very boring. I just want them to win Champions League somehow. Two guest teams every year will entertain
No,
them.
please, no.
No, it will look good.
It wouldn't.
Yeah, because it's UEFA, Europe.
Yeah, because
it's European,
yeah,
right?
And also because they recently did change the format, which I don't think is that good.
The
But
Champions League?
Yeah,
Oh.
at least it's still European.
Yeah, but the world has moved on from Europe in terms of everything. We should also move the Champions League.
He's such
or,
a he's
or
such a
just
hypocrite,
stop
this
calling it UEFA Champions League. Like take it out of the UEFA management, bring it to a bigger management, and that is Club World Cup again.
UEFA, if you're watching this, please
I just
do,
want
do
to-
not hire him. to
Someday
be-
I just want to see the Champions League trophy have Al Hilal on it. That's my final argument. However,
AFC Champions League.
AFC Champions League, yeah, okay, fine. I'll live with it.
No, you have. That's the because that's imagine.
Imagine, right now I remember why. You remember that idea that was floated about
Super League?
European Super League.
I was going to talk,
but again,
that
it's
was
also European.
It's
right? That
European.
was a European idea. But yeah, we can have a weirder version of
It's
it.
a very funny domino effect actually as to why the
Yeah.
Club World Cup exists.
I think it's because of that, right?
It's because It's because of European Super League.
Yeah.
UEFA got mad,
Hmm.
started changing the format of Champions League. Infantino saw it and he's like, "Oh my God, money!"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Let's make a different format called the
Yeah.
Club World Cup, where it's a
Even
Super
the
League."
Nations League came because the World Cup happens very rarely, 4 years.
I
and they
think
were
nation-
just wanted
I
to
think,
make money, right?
I think it's stupid. The Nations League.
Yeah.
It should not exist. Like
I think if Ronaldo didn't win this year, no one would have seen it because Ronaldo's team won.
no,
and
no. I disagree.
England fans love to watch it if they win somehow. England is
They
in
don't
it,
win
right?
anything.
England is in the Nations League, I know.
Yeah,
England
it is,
play the
but like,
Nations- yeah, no one cares about it. Okay, we only care about Champions League, but sorry, Al Hilal, you can't play. But in the distant
no, but
future,
I
when I
feel
become
if
president of FIFA,
you
I
won't,
will make sure.
Please don't, Infantino. If you're watching this, please don't.
I will-
I will bribe you. I know you love money. I will give you a whopping 5 dirhams. Please don't.
I'll
hire me.
make him FIFA president. I'll become UEFA president. I'll change UEFA.
You know, I'll
Champions
still
League.
have control over you, so you can't
Yeah,
do that.
that's a problem.
You can't do that.
But yeah, just argument for the sake of argument. But it's a nice idea. Just I'll think
it's a
we'll ask
horrible idea.
VO3, Google VO3,
Horrible idea.
to make a celebratory video of Al Hilal winning the
No, no,
Champions
no,
League and them celebrating. We should ask and do it.
We shouldn't. I'm not
Even
gonna do
at least we can imagine, right? I know it can't happen logically or possibly ever.
it shouldn't. Yeah. No.
AI
the
has
thing
given
is,
you the right
even-
to imagine.
Even that statement doesn't make sense because knowing FIFA and UEFA, they could possibly actually make this a reality.
Yeah.
Because there
Funny
were
thing,
reports.
imagine you go to Google or any AI video making software and say Al Hilal winning Champions League and it says, sorry bro, not possible. So I can't even imagine it.
AI can make cats flying and cats
Yeah.
dancing, but it can't make Al Hilal win the
Yeah.
Champions League. Wow.
So yeah,
There
that
were
was,
reports,
yeah.
that they might play Champions League. You never
Anything
know.
can happen. That's the world of
I
football.
hope
If
it
it's a money project, anything can happen. Maybe for one season or 1 year they get invited.
It's not a matter of if it is a money project.
What if
Everything
what
is
if
money.
the Champions League group matches before that they have some
No,
how do you
because in
call
the-
it? What are those exhibition matches? And they're like, oh, the
Why?
Champions League teams are just playing exhibition matches.
That's just the Nations League. Why are you, dude? Every football player who's if they're watching this, they're like, I want to break this guy's leg. I want to make him run for 90 minutes
just want
every
Al
single
Hilal.
day so that they know the pain.
Oh yeah, That's a problem.
You can't do
I just
that.
realized. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll keep doing this. We'll keep imagining. Him not, I will. I will keep imagining that Al Hilal someday will be
I
invited
imagine things
to
which are-
every
which-
tournament in the world.
I imagine things which are good for the sport, which are needed for the sport.
Yeah, Al Hilal is good for the sport. We saw in
Al
the
Hilal
Club
is
World Cup,
good,
2
but
draws.
Al Hilal being in the Champions League is not.
Yeah, but on that note, Al Hilal has a chance. Pray that they go through. Saudi Arabia is in the Gold Cup quarterfinal. Pray. They go through.
Just
and
Mexico,
win.
just sit this one out. Please,
Yeah,
please.
say Mexico. Just say we
No,
have a
next
party
time,
at
next time,
home.
next time.
Send your third best 11 or like fourth best 11. Say just we're participating. But yeah,
Like
Saudi Arabia.
you're getting good money out of it. You know, it's fine, guaranteed money. Just please, please
just
let
go
me
out
know.
of it. But yeah, and Ronaldo is getting control over the whole transfer window, and let's see what happens in the transfer window and who gets what. Next Saudi Pro League season, we hope it's bombastic and everyone has such a great time. And we see good quality football in Saudi Pro.
Let's see what
Yeah.
control Ronaldo has over
Yeah,
Al-Nassr.
and
Let's-
who he brings. It will be interesting to see. I think we will see a glimpse of him, his managerial prowess with the way he brings
I
players,
don't think
right?
manager, more like sporting director.
Yeah, sporting director. Yeah.
Because they are looking for a new sporting director, you know.
Oh, yeah, so him.
Imagine. Now I'm saying imagine a double role.
Well,
Ronaldo as a
manager plus sporting director plus player
Or triple
plus
role.
this guy plus that guy. Ronaldo can fill so
like
many
you know,
hats,
Ronaldo
right?
comes 2 hours early. He sets the grass for the pitch. Then he
Yeah,
goes
he's
in
the groundsman as well.
Then he goes in the dressing
This
room.
is a better pitch than I can make a better pitch than you.
he goes in the dressing room and he's like, guys, I'm the manager now. He goes to the president of the club. He's like, I'm the sporting director.
Yeah.
And then he plays the match.
And then he
after-
wins the match for the team.
Yeah.
Scores a ballistic header or a bicycle kick, and he's like, see, this is how it's done. I have to literally do everything.
Then he films on YouTube. He's a YouTuber as well.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber as well. And then shows his watch because he sells a lot of stuff as well.
Yeah, just
And as soon as the match finishes, he goes back to Portugal and plays paddle on one of his courts because he has a paddle business as
then
well.
he goes swimming. He becomes a swimmer. Everything.
Ronaldo can literally do everything. But yeah, thank you so much
No,
for joining us on this.
I'm just for anyone's clearance. I'm a Messi fan, but like.
But yeah, Ronaldo can do a lot of things. We'll discuss that someday. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us on the Smashi Sports Show. We did it today because Friday was off. Have a great long weekend if you're in UAE, Saudi, Middle East. And if you're looking at this or listening to this from Europe, we don't like your leagues. Just kidding.
Not my statement.
We
Not
just
my
want Al Hilal or some big team from the UAE or Middle East to win the Champions League, which is impossible. But thank you so much for listening. We just do all of these rants so to just make it a little more interesting. But thank you so much. Have a great day. Keep following Smashy Sports everywhere, wherever you can find them.
Everywhere.
Parth is doing good content. And if you
So is
want suggestions, ideas, you have anything, we're always welcome for feedback.
If you have any topics for like debates,
Yeah.
interesting topics for discussions, please do let us know. You can DM us on Instagram, and
Yeah.
we are on track to hitting 5K on Instagram.
Yeah.
So do help us with that, please.
Yeah. Share it with your friends, family, everyone.
If you want more imagination
Yeah.
content and stuff like that, more hypothetical
Yeah, like
things
Al
to talk
Hilal winning
about.
the Champions League. This is the place
He's stuck on that one topic, dude.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.